Okay, so we're just gonna be going over practice as 4, and we're just gonna be going like over every single question. And this does end at 9 because it's like Google Meet puts a limit for an hour. But if we do have to go longer, we can just all just join back with the same link, and it should be fine.
And if you
Um,
guys have any questions, just feel free to interrupt and ask.
yeah. So we can just go over like question by question. Most of these are pretty easy, so it should be fine. It's like just like this. This is if x is equals 7, you could just plug it in. It would be 7 plus 20, be 27.
Yep, you get a couple freebies.
For this one, I don't know if you guys know this, but on Desmos, if you type in mean, you can just put in parentheses and then type in the data values, and
Mm-hmm.
it would give you the mean. So instead of like calculating yourself by like adding them all up and then dividing by 4, then it makes it a lot easier. Yeah, do you have a question?
Oh yeah, I know we could do that, but does it have to be in order from like least to greatest or greatest to least?
No, but if you're doing median, it has to be like it has to like you have to do it least to greatest
General
or the
rule,
yeah.
just put it in the exact order that Desmos puts it in, and then you should have no issues.
Okay, wait, let me put it
All
back
right,
up
bet. Thank
actually.
you.
Mean of the other one.
It's the same thing, just 27.
Okay, so you can see this one's 9, and then the second one's 12.6, and the question is asking which one's the correct statement, and the data set Y would be greater. So it'd be B. Let me just check. Yeah, it'd be B. For this question,
We hide the answer for now.
yeah, if it's similar, that means they have like it's like the ratio is the same.
And the angles are exactly the same. Like that's what you have to know basically. If it's similar, the angles are the exact same, but it doesn't necessarily mean the side lengths are the same.
So this one says that the side P or angle P corresponds to angle S, and it says angle Q is 18. So if this is 18 and this is 90, then we can just solve for angle P. So 18 plus 90 would be 108. So that means angle P would be 72. So this means that S is also 72.
Yeah,
So
because
the answer would also just
it
be
says
72.
it says P corresponds to S. So yeah.
And then you just do the next one, Roman.
Okay.
You just talk out.
A rocket contained 467,000 kilograms of propellant before launch. Exactly 21 seconds after launch, 362,105 kilograms of this propellant remained. On average, approximately how much propellant did the rocket burn each second? Okay, so if it started at 467,000, we would just do 467,000 minus 362,000 to find like how much fuel was burned. And then using that, we can put that number all over however many seconds it took to burn all that fuel. So it's just like a problem of like how much what happened over how many seconds. Like
So yeah, it's since it was 4,995, that means it burned 494,995 kilograms every second. So the answer would just be A.
and if we're not like explaining this well enough or you still have questions after we move on, just let us know. We can go back and try to explain it better.
Wait, actually, if these questions are just like way too easy and you just want to skip them, like we could definitely just go to the harder ones.
Yeah. So if these feel too easy, also yeah, let us know.
You guys just want to skip these?
I think we can.
Okay.
Yeah, like most of these are like simple algebra, like Desmos questions.
All right, we can just skip to, I think question 16 kind of gets a little hard. You
Okay.
guys know how to do this with
I,
like the exponent rules?
I have a trick for this one actually. But if you guys know how to do it already, that's fine.
Can't you just like plug in values in Desmos for like x and y, and then for like the first equation, and then plug in the answer choices, see if they match?
Yeah, you can do that. But like if you put in Desmos y equals this equation, like the first one, even though it has y in it, it still graphs, and then you can put y equals all of your answer choices, and whichever one it like matches up is your answer.
Will it still work even if it has y on the other side as
Yeah,
well?
it will.
Oh, okay.
You can try it if you want.
Okay. How do I
Oh
do?
yeah. Also, if you want a root that's bigger than 3, just type in nth root, nth root, and then you can get like a bigger root.
I actually didn't even know that.
Really? Oh yeah. Square root you can type in sqrt. Cube root you can type in cbrt, I think. And then anything bigger than that, just type in nth.
So then we can just put y here so it makes a line. And then the same thing over here. And if we just put y in front of it, it also shows.
So yeah, we can obviously see those are not the same graphs, so that's
And
not
then we
our
can just
answer.
switch it out here.
There we go.
And then that one is the same.
If you want to click on like, yeah, exactly. So we can see those are like exactly the same. So that's like, you don't even need to know your exponent rules for that. You just need to know how to use Desmos, and like it's free points.
Do you think your guys are good with like percentage problems?
Because these sometimes are like tricky when it says like increased, decreased, or like stuff like that. Do you guys feel like
Mina?
we should go over this?
I think I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
Is it good?
Oh,
Okay.
can we go over this?
Yeah, we can
This
go
one?
over
Okay, yeah. So since the population of city A increased by 7% from 2015 to 2016, and if the 2016 population is k times 2015 population, we're just looking for the value of k. So to find how much, so actually, if we just put in Desmos, so just imagine the population of 2015 is just x. That means the population of 2016, it would be 1.07 times x because increased by 7%.
So when you increase a number, like say it was just 7% of a number, you would put 0.07 times that number. But since it's an increase, you would do that number plus 0.07 times that number. So it's like you can just think about this, just adding a 1 like before it. Like if it was increased by 7%, it would be 1.07 times. If it was like increased by 50%, it would be like 1.5 times. You just always add a 1 if it's an increase of like percentage.
Yeah, and if it's decreasing, subtract the 1, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I got it. Thank you.
So if it was like decreased by 7%, you just go 1 minus 0.07. So you just multiply by 0.93.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we have both of those, if it's k times it, we can just do 1.07
Yeah,
divided by,
that's just
or
our
1.07
answer.
x divided by x. And it basically just can't, x's cancel out, so it'd be just 1.07.
Yeah.
So it should be
So
C.
the College Board loves like percentage like questions. Like they love to say increase, decrease, that stuff. So like if you want to like you should definitely study that if you're gonna study like something in particular, because I don't know, they just do those a lot.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, these ones are like just easily Desmosable. I'm sure you guys know how to do them.
So if it's saying there's no solution, that means the lines still never intersect.
So like you can just
So-
look when the slopes are the same, basically.
Yeah. And if it's like x equals 3, that means you go on the x-axis and you go to where it equals 3, and then you go perpendicular to the axis. So if x equals 3 and y equals 5, then they definitely have to hit, because if they're infinite lines and they're on opposite axes, then they're just gonna hit for sure.
Yeah, so with this one we can obviously see that C has the same slope but different y-intercept, so we just know. Like we don't even have to put that in Desmos and waste our time because we know that.
Mhm.
But be careful, because sometimes what College Board will do is they'll put in a like equation to trick you that has like the same slope and the same y-intercept, and that would be like infinitely many solutions. So just like watch out for that. Okay.
You can answer this.
Okay. The first term of a sequence is 9. Each term after the first term is 4 times the preceding term. If, is that a W? W represents the first term of a sequence. Which equation gives W in terms of n? Okay, so this one, these types of equations where they have like constants, you can either replace W and n with x and y, or you can just like find values. Like, for example, the first term is 9, and then you can do you just know that the second term is 4 times that, so the second term is 36. So like if you just plug in numbers that you know like are like easy numbers, like the first term and the second term, you can like find your answer with Desmos. So if you want to like show that.
Yeah, I can show in Desmos. So you can just graph every single equation. 4, 9 to the n. And we can just go to where it's 1.
I don't know why n is like, why is n graphing on Desmos?
Oh, yeah. Why, right?
Yeah.
And we would just go to each like x value, right? So we go to 1, and then we would go to 2, and then we would just see if it like increases by 4 each time.
So, or what you could even do is you don't even have to graph these. You can just say like, if you go back to the question.
Wait, I got signed out.
Okay, 1 sec. Yeah, I don't know why College Board does that. That's kind of annoying.
No, all the way back.
Okay. It was like 17 or something. Here. Okay, so it says that W represents the nth term of a sequence. So, like, for example, W, like if n is 1, W is 9. So you know that 9 equals 4 times, like, 9. Like, that doesn't make sense. So you can already rule that one out. And you can just, like, use values. You know, like, 9 and 1 correspond, and, like, 36 and 2. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, but don't just test like 1 point. Like if the thing works for just 1 point, like make sure you check another point. So like, because 2 can work for like 1 point. Like for example, if you try this with like I think it might be B and D, they both work for the first term.
So like if you used 1, it would be 1 minus 1, so it'd be 9 to the power of 0. So it'd be just 4 times 1. So I think
No,
B wouldn't
B
work.
doesn't work. Yeah.
I think the answer is D, because 4 to the power of 1 minus 1 is 0, so it'd just be 9. And that's right.
And then
And for this
yeah.
second term, it'd be 2 minus 1, so it'd be 4 to the power of 1, which is just 4 times 9, and then it's just 36, which
Yeah.
does make sense.
So yeah, just make sure you test points because they give you they give you like 2 points right there, like easily. So just make sure you test. Okay, this
These
is
questions should get harder because it's 20 and 21 and 22 are like usually the hardest ones. So the minimum value of x is 12 less than 6 times another number n. Which inequality shows the possible values of x? So if
actually you can go.
Yeah, if the minimum value of x is 12 less than n, that means 6n. So that 6 times n. So that'd be our starting number, and then we see 12 less. So you have to minus 12. So 12 less than 6n. So it'd be either A or B, and the minimum value of x is that that expression. So if it's the minimum value, then it has to be greater than equal sign because it can't go lower than that.
Yeah, and like something to make these like break them up into multiple steps. Like if you first just use an equal sign, like minimum value of x equals 12 less than 6 times another number n. Like it makes it easier to think about, and you can just worry about the inequality after you already like rule out a couple answers. So that just makes it easier. Okay, so every geometry problem, draw it out like 100%. You don't try to do this with Desmos or in your head. Just draw it out on the paper. But we can probably just do this. Like if you have a paper and pen with you, draw it out. But the way we're going to describe this, we'll probably have to just do it in our head. But okay, it says the side lengths of the triangle RST are given. RST is similar to UVW. So remember, if triangle's similar, all the angles like are the exact same, like they correspond to each other. But what the College Board's testing on this one is that like just because they're similar, it doesn't mean the side lengths are the same. So we'll keep that in mind. What is the value of tan W? So since T corresponds to W, tan T is going to be the same as tan W. So we can just find tan T. So if we draw out our triangle, we have RS, ST, TR. Like, if you guys have a pen and paper, please draw this out.
I might be able to get a
Oh, do you have a draw
PDF.
tool?
Or if I go into, here we go.
Perfect, okay. This makes it much easier.
So I draw that.
It's RST. Nice.
So RS is 20, ST is 48,
And then
52.
And then as we know, tangent is just, wait, what are you finding tan of T?
Tan of W, which is
The same as
T.
T. Okay, so we're
Yeah.
finding tan of T. As you guys should know, tangent is just opposite over adjacent. So it's just going to be 20 over 48, which simplifies down to, I think, 5 over 12. So yeah,
Yeah.
you would always want to simplify. Well, it's multiple choice, but if it wasn't, just simplify it. But yeah, it's 5 over 12 is your answer.
For this one, since it just gives us an equation, we can just put that straight into Desmos. And then it says it's translated down 4 units. And then it asks us what is the x coordinate of the x-intercept. So if we move this down 4 units, we would have to graph another line. Or I think we can just,
Usually, what I like
we
to
can make this f of x, right?
because you have y
and
in
then-
it. Usually, what I like to do with these ones
Oh
is
yeah, we can.
just get it in terms of y equals mx plus b. Like, obviously, our equation right now is in standard form, so get it into y equals mx plus b form, and then you can translate it down like 4 units using like f of x or something. Like, Logan will show you how in a sec, but just first step, always like it'll make your life easier if you translate it or if you turn it into y equals mx plus b form. So there's
Okay,
our
yes.
same line, and then you can turn it into an f of x equation. So we can replace y with f of x, and then a little cool trick on Desmos, you can do translations in, yeah.
So that means we move it down 4.
You can do translations in Desmos like that. And then what you can do if you get a repeating decimal like this, put it into Desmos, put 6.5555, keep putting 5s, don't put the 6 at the end.
Don't?
Just
Okay.
keep typing 5s until it gives you a fraction. Like keep typing 5s. There you go. And then when it gives you the fraction, that's your like simplified answer. So if you ever get a
9 over
repeating
9.
decimal and you're scared you're gonna put it in wrong, just like remember to put it into Desmos. It'll give you like a fraction, then you know for sure that's the right answer.
And by the way, if you're wondering why I got so many questions wrong, this was like my first ever SAT.
Yeah.
So I'm just using the same one.
So you can see this method really works because he obviously went from getting a lot of questions wrong to 790.
Yeah, this
So
this was my first ever one, which I got, I think, 1180 overall and a 630 on math.
Yeah, so if you just do this, like, just take practice tests, learn what you got wrong, use our videos, your score will improve drastically.
So now it's module 2. This is the hard module. Um, Instead of us just like going through every question, do you guys have any questions that you like know you got wrong or you're just confused about? Then we just
Yeah.
go straight to it.
If you have any bookmarked questions, or like you want to pull up your test right now and see anything you got wrong or you're confused on, yeah, please do. But if you guys have never taken the test or you don't know any of the questions, then we can just keep going through them like meticulously.
You guys can let us know what you guys want to do.
I guess can you guys go through it? Cause like, I don't know about the others, but me personally, I only did module 1. Like, I didn't get to module 2 at all.
Okay.
Um,
Do you have any questions you want to go over, John? Like just like specifically?
I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna tell you if I find one.
oh, perfect. Okay. So we can first go over the questions that you have, and then we can, after we get done with those, we can circle back and do like the rest of them, so that like everyone can get helped, I guess.
Should we just go over this one first?
Yeah. Well, while we wait, we can.
Okay, there are 55 students in Spanish Club. A sample of the Spanish Club students was selected at random and asked whether they intend to enroll in a new study program. Of those surveyed, 20% responded that they intend to enroll in the new study program. Based on the survey, which of the following is the best estimate of the total number of Spanish Club students who intend to enroll in the study program? So if we have 20% out of the 55, then we can just go to Desmos if that was our
And
calculator.
like, if you're still not totally sure that if it's 0.2 or 0.02 or whatever, if you type into Desmos 20%, like literally 20%, it says 20% of, and then you can just type 55. And like, that's just if you're like stuck and you don't remember. And what you can also do for percentages is just put the number, like 20, and then just divide it by 100. And that's how you know for sure, like, that's what your multiplier is. So like, if you ever get stuck, just you can do those two things.
Okay, since it says 20% of 55, that means the best estimate would be this number, and it's at 11, so the answer would be 11. Okay, you can go.
Okay. A machine makes large boxes or small boxes one at a time for a total of 700 minutes each day. It takes the machine 10 minutes to make large boxes or 5 minutes to make a small box. Which equation represents the possible number of large boxes x and small boxes y the machine can make? Okay, so since it already gives us x and y for like x is large boxes, y is small boxes, we don't have to assign those. So it's just this is just going to be like a system of equations. So we know 10 minutes to make a large box. So 10 minutes to make a large box, which is x. So it's 10 times x. So it'd be 10x plus 5y equals 700, because we know it takes, like, we know it's gonna be in minutes for sure, because 700 minutes each day, and then 10 minutes times like a number of boxes is still gonna be in minutes. So it's gonna be like 10x plus 5y equals 700. So our answer is gonna be B.
Yeah.
And
It
if
is B.
you like want to make sure and check in Desmos, like say you have extra time and you want to check, you can like, for example, like assign values for x and y, like, and then you can graph it and like check. But like, that's not really necessary unless you have extra time.
The scatter plot shows the relationship between two variables x and y. A line of best fit is also shown. Which of the following equations best represents the line of best fit shown? So if we have a line of best fit and it's not like too perfect, we can just estimate and then just pick the best points possible. So you see here, this one crosses like almost like perfectly through 2 and 12. And if you guys don't know, you can use a table here, and then you just plug in the values for x and y, and we find a different point. Like this one here, it'd be 13 and 3. And then we can click this button right
Wait,
here, and it'll give us
it
a
would be
line.
like the opposite. I think it would be 313, wouldn't it? Or would it be 13? Oh, you're right.
13, 3. And then this one was 212, right? Yeah. So it'd just be a straight line. But if it was a quadratic, you can switch it. Or if it was like a different type of equation, you can just switch it, and then it'll give you like a parabola or something.
Yeah.
But since this one is a line, we can just click linear, and then we'll just find the one that is most similar to the line of best fit.
And even if you don't like want to do all that, you can just look like, for example, we know that the slope in the picture. We go back to the
Yeah.
like that. We know the slope's negative because it's going downwards, so we can already eliminate the two that aren't negative slope.
So A and C are gone.
And then we can also see our y-intercept is like a little above 13. So just pick the one with the negative slope and the y-intercept of 13 and or like a little above 13, and like that's just going to be your answer. Like
Yeah, and you can also see that D is a negative y-intercept. So, and this one is a positive. So it definitely isn't D.
Yeah. So yeah, that way you can narrow down your answer if you're like, if you're also stuck, like if you didn't know that about y-intercepts or something, for example, and but you know the slope's negative, like you already have like a 50% chance of getting it right. So like that's a way you can just like make an educated guess if you need to.
This is your question.
Okay. The point with coordinates D4 lies on the line shown. What's the value of D? Okay, so this one we can use a table for sure. So because it looks like it goes through some points like pretty much like for sure.
I think we just use the intercepts, right?
Like it might look, that's what I was gonna say. It might look like it goes through points, but if you have the big like the bold like black dot, definitely use those because Desmos or the SAT College Board is trying to tell you that is a that's a
like an exact point.
Yeah, and because it's actually a trick question because if you just look at the graph, you would go to where y equals 4, and like where x equals 4. Oh no, sorry. Where y equals 4, and then you go over to the x value, and it looks around like 3.5, and so you might think, oh, 7/2 is my answer. Like just by looking at it, I'm done. But like, make sure you actually graph this in Desmos because the College Board's trying to trick you with this. So we can go back to our table, and like we see, this is our wait. Yeah, this is our
we can go to where
if you see equation, like you see the equation under linear regression, click that little thing next to equation.
This thing?
No, it's like
this.
Yeah, this thing, and then change y to f of x, and then you can put. Oh no, actually, I guess it wouldn't work. But if you want to put like you can put your answer choices into like where the x is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it might make it a little more complicated, but.
But we can just go into the line, and we just go to where the y value is 4. It's saying that the x value is 4.
Wait, no.
Wait, I don't think that's.
No, that's not 8. That's 7. On the.
Oh, that is 7. That is 7. 0, 7. Okay.
There we go.
So
that's
then
the
I go
equation.
to where the y value is 4.
This is what I was saying. You might want to do the thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like tedious.
If you just do the f of x thing, you can like.
Oh wait, you could also just go y equals 4, and then you can just see where that.
Oh yeah.
But see, that's 4. And you just click on it, copy it, paste it here, and then click on the fraction button.
No, what you can do is you can put your answers. You can put your answers into Desmos and see which one matches 3.4 or whatever. You don't even have to do x. You can just do like whichever one, like just put your fractions in, and whichever one looks like 3.4 whatever repeating. Like, so yeah, that's the exact same decimal, 3.4287. So we
Yeah,
know that
it is the exact same.
24 over 7 is going to be our answer. So yeah, if you ever get like a scary number or something like that, just like put your answer choices in, and then you'll know which one.
So it should be, let's see.
Oh yeah, you fell for the trick on this one.
Okay, for this one, it gives us a table and it says for the quadratic function f, the table shows 3 values of x and the corresponding values of f of x. Which equation defines f? So this is just the same thing as before. We would just get a table and then we just plug all our points in. 0, 14, and 120. And it says it is quadratic right there. So then we, instead of linear, we click quadratic. And then we just take the equation here. And that is the exact same thing as D.
So yeah, perfect use of the Desmos table function. It's really easy to use. It's like the first thing you should learn on like Desmos tricks. Okay. The function f is defined by f of x equals x plus, what does that say?
F of x equals x plus 15 over 5.
Okay, x plus 15 over 5. And f of a equals 10. What is the value of a? Okay, so first we can just graph f of x in Desmos. And if you just, what you can do on Desmos, it's a little trick. It's like if you do x plus 15, then you highlight it, you can like put it over a certain number. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like if I was doing like a large expression, you can just highlight the whole thing and then put it over.
Yeah, okay. But we have our f of x, and then what does it say we're looking for?
We're looking for a.
What x value equals 10. Okay, so we can just do a line of like, we might be able to do a regression here. So do a tilde instead of the equal sign.
So
no, on the second one. On the second one. Yeah. So you can use it like, because you defined the function in like the above, you can use a Desmos regression on this. So if you do f of a, like a being our x value, is equal to, we'd use the tilde, so Desmos is the regression, and then it's 10. So then you know your x value is 35. And you can even check this by typing f of 35 back into like. So
yeah, and then we get a as 10. But if you didn't know how to use like the tilde, or it's like kind of confusing when to use it, since it says f of a equals 10, that means whatever is being put in as this value has to be 10. So that means 10 equals x plus 15. And then this is just over 5.
Yeah.
So you would solve for x, so it'd be 50, and then x plus 15, and then you minus, so 50 plus 15 equals x.
Yeah. So that's like the algebra way to do it if you're not like versed in Desmos. But if I would definitely recommend like learning as much as you can about Desmos, because it's free. It's really free points. Like a College Board claims that they're like Desmos proofing SAT, but they're really not. It's still really viable, and it's definitely worth your time to learn. Especially if you're like, if you don't think your math skill is that high, like you can gain like a lot of points just using Desmos. Okay, we can move on. And John, did you end up coming up with any questions that you had?
Yeah, I specifically had question 17 and 22.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
so we'll spend more time on those ones.
Definitely.
17 and 22. Should we do those now?
Yeah, let's just do those now, and then we can come back to these.
Yeah, those are probably harder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is Okay, you can take this one if you want.
All right, this might be a little confusing. Okay, the dot plot represents the 15 values in dataset A. Dataset B is created by adding 56 to each of the values in dataset A. Which of the following correctly compares the medians and ranges of datasets A and B? For this, we could do it a long route, but it might take a long time.
That's what I was thinking.
You would just do 56, add it to each of these, and then put it all into you'd use the mean function or the median function, but that's kind of tedious. And you can kind of just tell just from looking at it that the median is definitely going to be greater in dataset B because the median is found just by finding the middle of the list. And since the whole list of dataset B is completely larger than these values, the median is going to be greater for B than it is for A. So A and B are crossed out.
And if you really wanted to, like, I think when I took this test and I did the walkthrough, I did it the long way in Desmos. So, like, if you're really unsure conceptually about how mean, median, and like range and that stuff works, just literally put it into Desmos. Just type mean and then the parentheses and then 22. We can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots. So that means there's 5 values of 22. Like, that's what that means. It means like 5 values of 22, 4 of 23, 3 of 24. And then if you want to add 56 to each of those, you can. You can literally compare the medians. But then for range, you should definitely know conceptually that adding 56 to 22 and then adding 56 to 26, like the difference between those numbers will still be 4. Like the range will still be the exact same. So you should know that, like conceptually, that the range will stay the same. But if you want to do it the long way, you definitely can.
So if it's the same and the median is greater, that means is C. All right,
So
so
22 is a is a bit of a doozy. I have like a trick
okay,
for solving this one.
you can do it.
All right, sure. In the xy plane, a parabola has vertex 9, negative 14, and intersects the x-axis at 2 points. If the equation of the parabola is written in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are constants, which of the following could be a value of a plus b plus c? So let me just preface this by saying this, I think, is the hardest question on, like, out of all the practice tests. So, like, don't be scared away by this. Like, this is a really hard question. But basically what you can see is that the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c and the value of a, b, c, like, they're related in a way such that when you make x equal to 1, like, if you guys see what I'm saying here, you make x equal to 1 and then y equals a plus b plus c. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, if x were to equal 1, the y value would just equal a plus b plus c. So what we can do is we can graph this using vertex form, which you should also learn. Y equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. So go to Desmos and graph it using vertex form. And then for our a value, you can look back at the question and see that it has intersects the x-axis at 2 points and has a y value that's like the y value of the vertex is negative. So it opens up because it intersects x-axis at 2 points. So it's like this because it's like below the x-axis, but then it intersects. So we know a is positive, so we can add a slider for a and make it positive. And then we can look at our graph. Whoa. Oh, it's x minus 9 squared.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so now we can see this. Okay, and what I was saying before about when x is 1, the value of y is a plus b plus c, it matters because the lowest y value our graph will get is negative 14, because that's the vertex. So we know that at x equals 1, like if you just look where x equals 1, the y value is somewhere above negative 14. Like if you type in Desmos x equals 1, like that value is like somewhere above negative 14. We can see that. Do you guys see what I'm saying? And then if we look at the answer choices, only one of the answers is above negative 14. So that's just going to be our answer right there. It's like
Oh, I have a question.
yeah, what's up?
But like, why do we set a equal to greater than 0?
Because the vertex is like the y value of the vertex is negative. So we know that it's below the x-axis, and then it also says it intersects the x-axis at 2 points. So if the a value were negative, it would open downwards, and then it wouldn't intersect the x-axis at all. So like the a value controls whether the graph opens upwards or downwards.
Okay, so we know that negative 14 is below the x-axis,
Uh-huh.
and so that means it have to be opening up, so because it touches the x-axis at 2
Yeah,
points.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what they're testing here. Like if you what you like they're testing if you can realize that. So
Yeah,
that's like the most crucial part I think of this problem.
that's like super tricky, but like I get it. So we understand that a is always sorry, when we graph theory, it's always
It's always
above
going to
negative
be.
14, right? Or not
Yeah.
a
Why? Yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah, why is
yeah,
it always above 14? Okay.
because like the function can never go below negative 14, and like all the answers are above negative 14 except one. I mean below. Sorry. So yeah, this is like a really like I don't know. I don't like this question that much. It's really tricky to like,
Yeah, you have to like understand the
and
concepts
I've
of stuff.
I've never seen another question like this, but I don't
Sometimes I
know.
do a lot of questions with like the quadratic form, and it
Hmm.
is confusing. So it is really important to understand like the quadratic form, and if he has no like product solutions and sum of solutions, which is product of solutions is c over a, and then sum of solutions is negative b over a, because
Hmm.
they ask a lot of questions where they factor the quadratic equation, and you would need to be able to use c and b and a all together to find the answer.
Yeah, I would only really worry about that stuff if you're like going for 800 though. Like if you're like 750 already and you just want an 800, like that's when I would say learn that stuff. But if you're just trying to like raise your score, there's way like better things to do with your time than learn like the one-off equations or something. But yeah,
Yeah. All right, we can go to the hard ones as well, which is 21.
that this is like a really hard question as well. But yeah, you can take this one.
Okay, let me see if I can do this one. I remember this one was really hard. Two identical rectangular prisms each have a height of 90 centimeters. The base of each prism is a square, and the surface area of each prism is k centimeters squared. If the prisms are glued together along a square base, the resulting prism has a surface area of 92 over 47 k centimeters squared. What is the side length in centimeters of each square base? So let's just draw it out. I think that's the
Yeah,
best thing we can
that's
do
what I was gonna say
first.
too. Make sure you can picture this because it's honestly really helpful. It's the best thing you can do. Like you want to at least get a starting point. So just draw out your rectangular prism. Or does it say square? I don't
It's a rectangular prism with a square
know.
base.
Okay.
So we can just draw a square base with the good enough. Okay, so imagine there are two of these, and each of the surface area of each prism is k. So we would have 2k right now. And then if the prisms are glued along together with this along the square base, so this right here, we're losing the surface area of two of the squares basically. So right now the surface area is made up of this value, which would be x. We can assign it x to just this value, and then we know the height it gives us it is 90. So for one prism, the surface area would be 2x squared,
Because
and
there's two
then
bases.
yeah, and then for one of these faces, it'd be x times 90, and then since there's four of them, it would be 360.
Because it's 4 times 90.
Yeah,
So
and
that would
that just
equal
equals
k.
k.
And then I think it's easier to draw them like on their sides. You can show it glued together, but it's okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
This isn't our class. But yeah, so here's our prism on its side, and then if you imagine gluing them together,
Yeah, that's just one, and then we're just adding another.
the only thing that changes is the side lengths because we still have two square bases of the same. Like we still have two square bases on each end. So we'll still have 2x squared, and then the only thing that changes is that the side length doubles.
So it'd be 2x squared plus, now it is 90 plus another 90, because it's this height, times x. So it's 180x, and then we times by 4, which
So
is
720.
720x. And that, they tell us, for two of them is 92/7.
And then what we can do, but what we can do here is we see 92/47k. Well, we know what k is, so we can substitute 2x plus 360x in for k, and we can just solve that, and we can put that right in Desmos and
Yeah.
have it do it for us. Oh. Wait.
I have a
You have
question.
a question? Yeah. Ask away.
Yeah, where did we get 92 over something k?
Oh, it's in the question. Wait, go back to the question.
Yeah, 90 is the, 92/7. 47 is like the combined
Oh, okay.
prism.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure we got 2x squared because it's x times x for the
Yeah.
top, which is x squared, and then we have top and bottom because like the middle one doesn't count anymore.
Exactly.
It's-
Yeah.
It was glued together.
That's where we got
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yep.
And by the way, if this kicks us out at 9 o'clock, just click on the link again and we can just resume. But it might kick us out. I'm not too sure.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so we can just put this back into our equation. And then we can just substitute this. So we can put that right in for k right here.
So yeah, you can't copy and paste on the SAT, but we can do it like here just to demonstrate, or just type it out. It's fine. So yeah, it
Alright.
says our answers. It says and then we just click on the x-intercept, and it's 8. So
Yeah, because it cannot be 0.
That's where we
Because
get
it's
our answer.
extraneous. Yep, and then it would be 8 for B. And I obviously didn't get this right because this was a crazy problem for my first SAT.
Me neither. But yeah, we also have a video on that in depth, like more in depth on our Instagram and TikTok. And I did a whole walkthrough of practice test 4 on our YouTube. So if you like want to check that out, we posted that. And I'm also recording this session to our YouTube as well. So if you want to watch back this session and like pause and slow stuff down or whatever, just feel free to go on our YouTube and watch that.
Did that make sense, the explanation, John and Mina?
Oh yeah, but just
yeah.
a little question.
Yeah, what's up?
So there's like two rectangular prisms and they're glued on top of each other, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
along the base.
So
Yeah.
imagine this is where it was.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but like so that the base goes away in a way, like you don't have to like worry about it anymore.
Yeah, like the two bases in the middle that are glued together, like they basically don't matter anymore since they're not on the surface, and we're looking for surface area.
Oh, that makes more
Yeah,
sense.
so we'd only be looking for this face, this one times 4, and then this one on the end.
Okay, yeah. And that's a hard difficulty, or it
Yeah,
doesn't show you
that's
guys?
definitely a hard problem.
Yeah,
Alright, thank
this
you.
one's pretty hard. Because it's one of like the last few questions on module 2. I think this one is also should be pretty hard. Actually, if we
No,
just
this
graph
one's
this,
easy
it's
in
really easy.
Desmos.
Yeah. But if you don't know how to use Desmos, then it could be pretty difficult.
Yeah, if you see an equation and you're like you don't really know where to start, just first thing to do is put it in Desmos and see what it gives you. Like that could be really helpful. And then on the
Uh,
top and bottom, you'll see you have like y-intercepts and stuff. And then right like next near the y-intercepts, you can see these other 2 points, and those are going to be the endpoints of your circle.
mhm. So the x values are always going to be the same, but the y values are going to be different. So we see that um is 9.5 up here and negative 10.5. So we can just add them together.
Yeah, well, what we would do is we would do 9.5 minus like negative 10.5, which is just plus. But like
Mhm.
if this bottom point wasn't in the negative, like wasn't below the x-axis, then we would do top one minus bottom one, and that finds our diameter of the circle. So you can always do that. Desmos will always give you your two endpoints.
Yeah, so that'd be your diameter, and then you just divide by 2. So your radius is 10. And then, yeah, just 10. I don't have no idea how I got 9.5.
You probably use the y-intercepts instead.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, we can just show in another example with um a circle above the x. We have to shift it up. So, okay. So now that we have both of the top and bottom on at different points, and they're both positive, we can just take the y values because they're both different, and then we just do minus, and then we do that divided by 2, and that'd be our radius.
Yeah,
It's kind of a weird number
but that's
because
just
it's
like an
just 10.
example of how you find like the radius of your circle just from in the graph.
Yeah. Let's see if 19 is hard. Oh, this one
Oh
is
yeah,
hard.
this one actually
This is
is.
what this is what we were talking when we said product of solutions. So
Yeah.
we have to know what C over A is.
So yeah, this one actually is. It's
This
like
should I think
basically
this might be really
impossible
hard.
to do if you don't know. Um, if you don't know product of solutions, but basically what you want to learn product of solutions for a quadratic is the formula C over A, where like C is your constant term and then A is your first term, like in front of X. Like we're saying it's in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Like that's where we're getting A, B, and C from. But yeah. So like as we can see, um, uh, we're looking for the product of solutions. So it's C over A. So AB is equal to C in this case because it's our constant. And then A is 5. So AB over 5 equals, what was it?
C over A. So
AB over 5 equals KAB.
KAB.
So in this case, since we have constants and not X and Y, we'll use a tilde. So Desmos knows the regression. AB over 5 equals KAB. And then, oh no. Wait. Oh yeah, what's
I
up?
have a question.
Oh yeah, we said sum of solutions is C over A.
Oh no, that's product. We're looking for sum. We're looking for negative b over a, I think.
No, the product.
Oh, product. Oh,
Yeah,
Product, yeah,
product.
product is C over A,
Hmm.
and sum is negative B over A or just B over A.
negative b.
Negative. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
We can just double check.
Yeah, negative b.
Yeah, negative B over A, and then the product is just C over A.
Yeah. So
All right, thank you.
what we can see is we're looking for product. So ab over 5 equals KAB. So it says what we're looking for is Wait,
Just
something's wrong.
K. Yeah.
Wait, is that right?
Oh, 57. 57.
Oh,
That's right.
57.
Oh, my 7 key's not working. That's why. Okay.
Oh, AB over 57 equals KAB. So K is this weird decimal. This is another case of
And then
putting our answer choices
it
in.
should just be 1 over 57.
So yeah, if you check your answer choices in Desmos, 1 over 57 is your like.
Because you can see that if you do this, you can just cancel out the AB on both sides. So it should be AB canceled out. So should just be left with 157. 1 over 57 equals K.
Yeah,
And then that's just our answer.
exactly.
So it would just be A.
And then if you guys have any other like SAT questions, like not from this test, but just in general, or from this test, whichever, just and if you have them like on standby, just feel free to ask them.
Or if you just have any like certain question types you guys don't feel like comfortable with, like percentage questions or like graphing questions, geometry questions, we could just go to the question bank and filter by that question type.
Yeah. So if you just speak up if you have any outlying questions and you want us to help you.
But if not, we can just do question 18. All right, Roman, you want to do this one?
Yeah. Okay. The rational function f is defined by equation. Oh, this actually is pretty hard. Okay. The rational function f is defined by an equation in the form f of x equals a over x plus b, where a and b are constants. The partial graph of y equals f of x is shown. If g of x equals f of x plus 4, which equation could define g of x? Okay. First thing I'm going to do, go to my table. I'm going to go to Desmos. I'm going to type in table. And then I'm going to look at my graph and see what points I have, like what definitive points. So I can see I have negative 7, 2, or negative 7, negative 2. And I have negative 6, negative 3. And we'll get 3 points just to be safe. And then I have negative 5, negative 6. And you may be thinking, when you go to graph the regression, you're like, what kind of regression is this? Well, since it doesn't say exactly what kind of regression it is, but it does give us the form it's in. So if you click the 3 dots next to linear regression, type in export as, or click export as custom, and then change mx1 plus b to the form that it says. So if we go back to the question, we can see it's in the form a over x1 plus b. So we can just we can replace that. And then it gives us our values right there. And then what's it looking for? Does it say that's f of x?
Yes, that is f of x.
Okay, so then we can replace the y, or we can retype it. We can say y, or f of x equals a over x1 plus b. And then we can use that to, oh wait, why is it doing that?
I think because it's y1.
Okay, maybe we can just replace y1 with,
I think we can replace all these numbers with.
oh yeah, we can. Sorry, we can just put our, yeah, perfect. So then we can just use we can say g of x equals whatever it equaled in the question. It said f of what?
F of x
Why do you
plus.
take the parentheses out of that, behind the f.
Oh yeah, and then f of x plus 4.
Yeah,
Just like
so
that.
then we have our g of x function, and what's it asking? Which equation could define that?
Yeah,
so
what
then,
is g of x?
Well, since we know, actually an easier way we can do this, since we know g of x equals f of x plus 4, we can just like,
Plug this into x. So it'd just be
yeah.
x plus 4 plus 4. So it'd be 6 over x plus 8.
So is that one of our answers? Yes, it
It'd be
is.
C.
So yeah, so that's like a pretty hard question actually. Like custom regression is a hard topic, but it's definitely useful because it like gave us our a and b values like really fast, and otherwise like I think it would have been difficult. to figure them out. We would have had to do like a lengthy algebra. Oh yeah, you have a question?
Oh yeah, so you guys just plugged in the points given on the graph,
Yeah.
found
Hmm.
like y equals mx plus b like the slope form, and then you used regression.
Yeah.
Yeah. We as you can see in the question, it says the equation of f of x is in the form a over x plus b. So like that's where we got that from. And like custom regression means you can put your points in whatever form you want. And since they gave us the form, we we just used that, and then it found our a and b.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Thank you.
Cool.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know if that's like a little confusing with custom regression, but
yeah, it sounds confusing,
yeah.
but like I think that's the easiest way to do it. But
Another way might be using so you have to find the regression that which goes through each of these points.
wait, why is it like not working?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, because you don't have it.
Oh, I
You don't
turned it
have it
off.
highlighted. But like
Or
a lot of them go through. But I guess
okay. Not this one either.
because I don't think it's any of them. It's like it's custom. Like that works, but like
But yeah, I don't.
I think you
It'd be
have to
really
use.
confusing then.
Yeah, or you can plug. Oh, what you can do is you can plug in. You can find 2 points and then plug them in and have a system of equations. Like you can do it algebraically. Like for example, we have our point -7, -2. We can say f of x equals -2, and then x is -7, and then we have two constants. So then we just make another equation with another point, and we can solve it algebraically using a system of equations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
Th-
that that makes
that's the
sense.
only other way I see that we can do this. But I think custom regression is like infinitely easier.
Do you guys want to see that done out where we plug in the points into here?
Yeah, you want to see it done algebraically, or is it not worth it?
Mina or John? Does want to see it done out?
Oh, I think that's good, honestly.
Okay,
Okay, perfect.
already did that. Okay, so since it gives us two equations, it's asking for the given system of equations. A is a positive constant, and it has only one real solution. Let's just plug it straight into Desmos without even thinking again. Most of the times when they give us equations, you should just put it into Desmos because you're most likely gonna have to use Desmos anyways, and it's usually makes it 10 times easier. Okay, so we can just put a slider for A, and it says there's only one distinct real solution. That means the the equations only intersect at one point. So we can just keep moving the slider until we get to where it only hits one time. So right now it's still not there. Zoom in a little bit.
This is kind of a tedious process, but like,
Yeah, between 14 and 15. So we can go 14.5. And there we go. It only hits at one point. So that means A is 14.5. Yeah. All right, Romy, you want to do this one? This one actually seems kind of confusing.
yeah. Oh, I can do this one. We can do this one using Desmos regression. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay. So it says the expression 4x squared plus bx minus 45, where b is a constant, can be rewritten as hx plus k times x plus j, where h, k, and j are integer constants. Which of the following must be an integer?
Oh, guys, I can't see your screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can reshare.
Yeah.
Try it out. Should be this one.
Is it working
Do you
now?
see it now?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let me resay the question. The expression 4x squared plus bx minus 45, where b is a constant, can be rewritten as hx plus k times x plus j, where h, k, and j are integer constants. Which of the following must be an integer? So if you know, like, integer is like a real number, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, there's no like decimals or anything. Okay. So what we can do, type this into Desmos. Or what you can do by hand if you don't know how to use Desmos is you can type, or you can FOIL out hx plus k times x plus j, and then you can like match up like the x squared term and the x term and like the constant term. But I think an easier way is doing it in Desmos. So if we just go to Desmos,
Oh yeah, Desmos here.
and you just
And
type
then
in the equation,
expression.
4x
Okay.
squared plus bx, and replace x with x1. So Desmos knows it's a regression. And then put the tilde. So Desmos knows they're equal. And then put in parentheses hx1 plus k, x plus j, x1 plus j. And then we can say x1, Desmos thinks x1 can only equal to 1. So we can do x1 equals, put the bracket, and then 1 period, 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 like 10 or something. And then it knows that x1 is like, can be any value from 1 to 10. Like, this is what this means. It's just like a list. Like, because before it was saying x1 has to be equal to 1. So like this list right here just says x can be anything from 1 to 10. Okay, so what's the question asking? It's saying which of the following must be an integer, and then it gives out. So we can just, now that we have values for each of these, we can just type them out in Desmos. Like, for example, like the first one, what was it? B over, what was the first one?
B over h.
So you just type out b over h, and that's obviously not an integer.
B over k.
Not an integer again.
45 over h.
Not an integer.
That means it has to be the last one.
45 over k. Definitely an integer. So that's going to be our answer, D.
Yep.
You got that one right.
And if you don't know how to do regressions, you can still do this like a little conceptually just by looking at the like how it is factored. So you see that it has to be put into here to be factored. If you guys know how to like factor
Like
like
FOIL.
the quadratic, yeah, like the quadratic expressions. Basically, these have to multiply out to equal this equation.
Yeah, like for example, we would have xh squared, like xh squared would correspond to 4xh. So in that case, or sorry, 4x squared. So like if
Mhm.
hx squared equals 4x squared, then we know that h equals 4. So you can like find your like constants using that if you don't know how to use Desmos. Like you can just FOIL it out and then match the corresponding terms.
Mhm. And it's showing us that that means if h is in front of this x, there has to be a number here, but this doesn't have a number in front of this x. So that means this one is the 4, so it's 4x. I can draw it out actually. 4x and then plus k. And then that means this number has to be it's the product of the last numbers of each parentheses. So that means k and j have to multiply to get negative 45. So you may not know which of these numbers are, but it can only be uh, like 9 or 5, and because they're all integer constants.
Well,
And just by
it could be
looking,
45 and
or
1,
45 and 1, yeah, that is
or it
true.
can be 15 and 3.
Oh yeah. Okay, and then it says what is b over h. So if b is a oh,
Sorry,
if
that
b
was
is a
accident.
b over h, then you don't you don't know if it's an integer, so um you can cross that off for now because it says which of the following must be an integer. So you can find out which one of them is like an integer no matter what. And it says 45 divided by h for this one for C, but you know that h is 4 because it's coming from here. So 45 divided by 4 is not an integer. And then 45 divided by k could be an integer because it could be 4 or it could be 9 or 45 or 15. But it could also be 4 as well. So D and C you don't know. And A you're also not too sure about. I think for this way it is really confusing as well though.
Yeah, best ways are either just FOIL by hand or put it into Desmos.
Yeah, and then when you found Desmos it was just D. Actually, then I must have said something wrong. Because it said 45 divided by K. I mean, just looking from the explanation. Sometimes the explanation it gives it like kind of weird
Yeah,
because it says
the
you
Bluebook
can
explanation
rewrite it.
is so bad.
Yeah,
But
like it's telling us to rewrite it as like this, but I feel like a lot of people wouldn't think to rewrite it out like that. So
yeah.
it can be really confusing. But I think just doing regressions on Desmos is the best way. And if the regressions are kind of confusing, we're going to be making a Desmos video and like all the different ways to use Desmos and how to just get like the most out of it.
Yeah. So like if you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask, but like if you guys feel satisfied, then that's okay.
Yeah, we just wanted to go over like the hardest questions from practice 4.
Yeah, and if you guys like still want to see every single question, you can go to our YouTube and we have a full walkthrough posted.
Yeah, but I think it's like an hour, so
Yeah, so if you guys, I think we might end there for today. But if you guys have any like feedback, let us know like what we can do differently or better, or like just like what we can change, like, or if you guys want, you can like come next time with like questions prepared or something. Like if you have any outlying questions, and then we can help you answer them if you want.
yeah, so like from between now and then next week, you should try to maybe do like a practice test or just get like 20 questions a day done. And then if you have any questions that you can't um you can't understand from the Bluebook explanation or from any YouTube videos, we can try to help you as best as we can.
Yeah, definitely try to take a practice test between now and our next meeting. Do you have a
Yeah,
question?
do you have a question?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say like I've been using like a question bank, and I've been like I'm gonna start like bookmarking the questions I don't understand. I was gonna say like, is it okay if like next week I bring it to you guys? Or, like I don't understand like say like a English like conceptually. Like would you guys be able to help with that?
But just is it just English questions or is it math questions?
No, it's like math and English.
We are just going to be like helping like just like solely on math because that's like our strong suit.
Oh yeah, that works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have like the confidence in ourselves to like explain English properly to you guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, math works. Thank you guys.
Okay, yeah, but if you do those question bank questions and you have a lot of math ones that you are unsure about, we can just go over them. And that's going to be like awesome because then we have more questions to go over for like everyone else as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that actually like perfectly works with me.
Okay, and yeah, if you have any feedback with any like the videos or if anything we could do better with the classes, you can always just email us or just like DM us on Instagram or TikTok. Like completely works.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other like questions that you're wondering about?
I think that's all. There's like really good information here, so thank y'all.
Of course, yeah. We'll be hosting
Yeah,
next
I
week
agree
too,
with
so
Tanks. I don't know her name.
I'll be sure to
Yeah.
bring some questions next week for
All right,
sure.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay,
We'd
yeah.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
me too.
Do you guys think the videos are helpful, like at all?
I've
Honest,
watched a few, and yeah, there's some new information I didn't know about.
yeah, I think that
Perfect.
TikToks are cool. I didn't watch like a full length like YouTube video yet, but I definitely will though.
Okay, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
we're just like still trying to like build up our quality, so like we're still trying to make it better for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think you guys are like already off to a good start in my opinion.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, and if you guys have any, like anyone you know that also wants like math SAT help, we
Feel
could
free
like
to reach
definitely help.
out
Yeah,
to them.
yeah, we're happy to have more people here.
Yeah. And we'll be back next week, so make sure to join.
Yeah, we'll be emailing you guys, and it'll also be on the website with like the schedule. Like
Yeah.
I'll show you right here.
Also, I think it kind of be better if you guys sent out like an email, like 30 minutes or something before.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll
Yeah.
remember to do
because like
that.
We'll do
uh,
that.
you guys sent like I think it was like early today or yesterday, and it was cool, but like I can like it like flew out of my brain honestly that it was
Okay.
today at 8.
Okay. Yeah. We'll definitely send emails closer to the actual time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming, and we'll send you guys emails, keep you updated, keep posting, and we'll be back next week.
Yeah, see you guys next week.
So
Yeah, have a
thanks,
good night. Thank you
thanks
guys
for
for all
coming.
the
All
help.
right,
Thank you.
Good night.
have a
All
good
right, bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye.